Greetings. Here is the G's scale high E Springbok horn Flutarina. It has no thumb hole in the back, so that's nice for easy playability. Definitely designed for people with smaller hands to begin with. But I can play it fine, and I have like average size fingers. So, the specs on this thing, let's see. You got this beautiful Paduk mouthpiece with some alternating cedar, and then the main bass right here is zebra wood, and then some nice waxed burgundy linen cord on just a very simple maple fetish. It's got a lot of cool woods, like all up and down it for being so sleek and slender. And then we've got some fur. I think this one, I forget what I labeled on the website. It's either raccoon or rabbit. Let's see. The general way to play this is there's the mouth hole right there. You just blow right into that hole, and you can just it basically fits perfectly inside of your mouth. So you just do a little bit. Make sure you got a good complete seal around the top, and just blow. These smaller ones are very, very much like an adult whistle, but they just have a whole boatload of notes to them, so they're really, really easy to play. All you have to do is just oscillate your breath pressure depending on the note and how much you want it to bend, honestly, because you could put a lot of force into this instrument. Certain types of flutes, sometimes if you blow too hard, they'll pop into the upper register. Or squeal or make weird noises, what they're not supposed to do. This one, you can like really just wail on it with a lot of force, and it's super loud for being so tiny. The sound chamber is here, but then it extends into the horn. The way that I make these is really, really cool. So it kind of like is a hybrid between a flute and an ocarina, and also a whistle. Mainly just because of the Fipple style airflow. So ultimately, that's about it with this. Here's your low E is all holes closed, and then all you have to do is climb in succession. Just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and a good thing to do is to brace the instrument with your pinky either underneath or on top. So that you can, I mean, it's so light and so simple that it's really not hard to play. The hardest part for most flute players is like where to rest your pinkies. And you could even use your pinkies on this thing if you want to, for playing. It's just a matter of personal preference. The finger spacings are so close together that like you can really use almost any fingers to cover the holes if you really want to. So whatever's most comfortable for you is definitely the way to play it. There's no right or wrong way. Basically just blow, at first blow soft just to understand how much breath pressure it takes to make the thing sing, and then slowly increase to moderate. And towards the end, when you get to the highest part of the flute, you might be in the moderate to hard blowing range, okay? So those are important things to, take into consideration when you're learning the finesse of this particular flute, because every single flute has its own voice and its own little weird quirks and subtleties to it. So with this one, I'll give you the rundown real quick. And it's so loud, you can hear this thing from really far away. Like if you played this outside in the woods, people will be like, "Where's that fairy music coming from?" So it's really rad. Yeah, and it's super portable and lightweight. It's oddly shaped, of course, but you could slide it into a purse or a backpack, or if you want to make some sort of like clothy bag or case for it, it's always good to keep it wrapped up. Or if you want, you could always put it on like your altar or something like that. It's definitely a super sacred little object, so take good care of it. And yeah, breath pressure. It's just super clean. Like the notes are all super, super clean and rounded out and smooth. And then you just climb in succession. And then the high E is with the top hole open and all other holes closed. Blow a little harder, and then you'll hit that high E. So you got E, and then go through the scale, and then you got the high E, which is the top hole open, and then these bottom 5 closed, okay? And that's really important if you want to hit the last high E on the scale, which is essentially the next octave. You can also keep all holes closed and blow twice as hard, and you'll hit the high E that way as well. So you've got 2 options to be able to hit a high E, and that's great. Certain Native American style flutes will always give you that sort of perk. It's cool that it works with this too, just by chance. Even though this is, a very imperfect sort of bore, it's not a, perfect circle on the inside. So it's really nice that this particular piece yields that perk for, certain flutes. So one more time, I'll show you the pass. I think it comes in a little clearer if you pop the top hole open when you try to overblow that high E. Personal preference once again. And then you can probably whip 1 or 2 of the bottom holes to add some extra super high-pitched frequencies in there. So it'd be like... there we go. So if you want to play... Yeah, so only these 2 bottom holes work in the upper register if you overblow with all holes closed. So that's something, that's another cool perk with this, is that you can go way up there if you want to. The higher you climb, the more intense and loud and, piercing the notes are. So with a high E is a really high flute. Most people make, a high C and a high C sharp, a high D. Those are the main soprano style, flutes. But sometimes you can get a little higher, and this one's really up there. So that's one of the only things that I can say is be mindful of its volume, because it's a loud guy. And you have to play it with enough, with a good amount of force to, have it oscillate in tune. So get used to the amount of finesse and subtleties that you need to blow, and traject your wind into the instrument. And you should just be, good to go right out of the box. This thing is just super easy to play. All you have to do is close the holes, get a good seal on that, and just blow straight through. And it will, resonate delightfully for you. Super, super thankful and stoked that you felt called to acquire this cute little sacred tutor. And I appreciate you so much. And I will mail it out in the next few days, and I will give you the tracking number once I do so. If you have any other questions or whatnot, just feel free to email me. And once again, thank you so much. I really appreciate you. And I hope that you build a lovely relationship with this flute. So take care. Thank you.